So, it finally happened. One of football's longest running transfer sagas finally came to a close as Coutinho sealed his dream move to Barcelona for £142 million. First came denial.
You actually believe that in the no Twitter account?
Then anger.
Why, he's no better than that little snake Sterling! Judas!
And finally, at some point in the not too distant future, will come acceptance, because life does, and indeed must go on. These are 6 ways Liverpool can succeed without Coutinho. Get Adam Lallana to step up. Let's be honest, talking about replacing the Brazilian kind of misses the point, especially in January. Coutinho is a player with a unique skill set, operating at an extremely high level, and that's exactly why Barcelona were willing to pay so much cash to get him in. Now imagine trying to get a similar player in during the January window, where clubs are reluctant to sell at the best of times and value is all but impossible to find. It's just not going to happen. That's why Adam Lallana needs to step up for now. Injuries have restricted him to a handful of minutes this season, but he's more than capable of chipping in with goals and assists, and if he can do that, Coutinho's absence will be made a bit more bearable. Get a backup striker to replace Danny Sturridge. He's given us some magical moments, and we'll always remember how devastating he was with Luis Suarez and Raheem Sterling, but it's starting to look like we've seen him do that little dance of his for the last time in a Liverpool shirt. Klopp hasn't been able to rely on him since he came in, but if he leaves, something that's more and more likely, the Reds will be short up top. If Roberto Firmino was to get injured, they'd either have to move Mo Salah in from the wing or put their faith in Dom Solanke, who hasn't pulled up any trees as yet. Or I suppose they could chuck Ryan Brewster in there, or just go without a striker. That's exactly the kind of thing Klopp would do, isn't it, mad bastard? Anyway, there are options, but none of them sound that great, do they? So get in a hungry striker with a point to prove, happy to play second fiddle, but also ready to step into the side when called upon. Sign Roberto Firmino up to a long-term deal. Speaking of strikers, Liverpool have got a gem of one in Roberto Firmino, and they'd do well to tie him down and make sure he sees out the prime of his career at Anfield. At 26 years old, you'd expect him to be playing the best football of his life in the next few years, and although Coutinho's saga showed that long-term deals don't guarantee players will stick around, they're a good insurance policy at least. Just look how the vultures began to circle around the Emirates and the instability that's caused, not to mention the lost revenue in way smaller transfer fees. Big clubs simply can't let their best players' contracts and values run down. Firmino's proved himself to be one of the first names on the team sheet this season, so Liverpool should sign him up for the long haul. Grab a dictionary, skip to G, and look up the definition of game management. Jurgen Klopp's brand of rock and roll football, as he calls it, is undeniably great fun. Well, for us neutrals anyway. We're pretty sure Liverpool fans might appreciate some ambient football, or even some free jazz football every now and again, especially when they're in the lead. Generally speaking, unless we're talking about late goals or winning matches, you don't want typically anything associated with your club, because it's not likely to be good. But Liverpool have become synonymous with making things hard for themselves and snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. If they want to get anywhere, this has got to change. Sign a proper number one goalkeeper. Right, we know every keeper makes mistakes, and it's difficult to shake the status of meme keeper once it's bestowed upon you, but honestly, it's getting to the point where you've got to say enough is enough. Liverpool's front line is one of the best in the league, and see how many teams' goalies you'd rather have over a combination of Simon Mignolet and Loris Karius. By our reckoning, Liverpool are one of, if not the weakest in that department in the top half. They've strengthened at the back with the addition of Virgil van Dijk, now bringing someone he can really feel confident playing in front of. Hold on to Emery Can. Alright, nobody's getting Chan on the back of their shirts, despite it being the most economical offering in the Liverpool club shop, but he's exactly the type of player you miss when they're gone. Young, versatile, with room to improve, and a real solid 7 out of 10 performer, his quality and versatility will be missed if he's allowed to leave. Now, our GCSE maths exams might have been a long time ago now, but even we can tell you that if you let a player who can play 3 positions go, chances are you're going to have to get in 2 more to replace him. That's at least 2 transfer fees, 2 sets of wages, 2 signing on fees. You get the idea. That alone should make keeping Chan at the club a priority. Becoming the first team to beat City in the league this season has hinted that Liverpool might just be okay without their Brazilian number 10. But can they succeed in the long term? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Copper 90.